Well, solutions are not easy, of course, but there's a lot of institutional investors that cannot invest in this asset class. I think that across countries there should be, and at an European level, we should bring down those barriers, where essentially it's forbidden for certain pension funds and so on to invest in what is considered an asset class. And for the country, I think there should be, at an individual country level and also at an European level, an incentive scheme provided so that those fund managers, those funds of funds, let's put it this way, can and would invest in VCs. Now, we're always talking about minuscule percentages of their assets under management, but if you have 1% of the pension funds in Europe invested in VC, that would be a tremendous revolution. Yeah. So, because the vast majority invest zero. So we're not saying, look, we should get all the pension funds to invest 20% of their assets in VC. No, not at all, right? That would probably be way too much, although in the US, lots of pension funds actually do that, and very successful ones. But the fact that they are not incentivized, that there's no tax advantage, that there's actually barriers, it's a problem. And then when you look at individual investors, some countries have already done some efforts in having individual investors invest in technology or in startups, but very rarely in the financial intermediaries. So what actually happens a lot of times is that these individual investors become these sort of tourist angel investors that have no idea what they're doing, and basically they're investing in the wrong companies and sort of basically wasting money, their own money and the state's money, which quite often it's a subsidy from the state. And so, of course, it's in our own interest to say this, but it would be smarter if those people that have savings would have a tax break to invest in professional investors that could then theoretically, hopefully, take better decisions in terms of investment decisions. And we haven't seen that happen yet. And again, the easy solution is always for the state, the European state or the local state, to come up with another scheme, sometimes for financial intermediaries, but quite often to invest directly, because it's considered that it's faster and so on. And what we should really do is not stop the public sector from investing in VC firms, because if it wasn't for the public sector across Europe, particularly the EIF, there would be no VC in Europe. But we really need to sort of reach out to the private sector, because that's where the capital, the real big capital is. And just a tiny bit of that capital would change the outlook of Europe as a continent, as a powerful force in technology in the 21st century. And as we all know, the game, the macroeconomic and the geopolitical game is being played on the technology level. And so Europe should not and cannot be left behind.